minutes so that whoever wants to watch can watch it, because we wanted to keep every single coffee chat super small and intimate so we can answer all your questions. So your hosts today aren't very diverse because we're both from the men's rowing team, although I did women's rowing for 2 years. Correct. Yeah, I did women for 2 years before I made the switch, because the men are just they're so kind, and also they needed another coxswain. And the time commitment wasn't as bad. So for all those reasons, I switched to the men's team. So let's do introductions first. I'm Judy. I'm a rising senior. I've been doing coffee chats every single night at 9 p.m. for half an hour on topics XYZ, anywhere from academics to I want to say something with Z, but I can't think of a topic that starts with Z right now. Yeah. What?
Was it xylophones? But that starts with an X.
My roommate's like, oh, wait, xylophones, but xylophones does not start with Z. Anyway, so I've been taking requests for whatever you guys want to talk about, and sports clubs have been pretty popular. So we're going to talk about sports clubs for the next 2 days. And today, joining me is Eamon from men's rowing team. I'm super cheesy. Sorry. This is what you get. This is what you sign up for. Should be called Coffee Chats with Judy. Yeah. Eamon, you want to do your 30-second intro?
There it is. Okay. Hi, I'm Eamon. I'm a rising junior from Philadelphia, and that's where I'm currently staying and rowing. I've been rowing for 6 years now, so I'm also publicity chair of sports clubs, so I know the ins and outs of everything about it. So any questions or anything, I got it.
Amazing.
Cool. All right. Do you guys just want to? Let's start from Noah. Are you back? Have your brother fixed your camera?
I could run that.
Hello. Okay, so I guess Noah's not back. So Sabrina, you want to go first because you attended first?
Yeah, so I'm Sabrina. I'm from San Francisco, and I've been playing tennis for a really long time, so I'm interested in club tennis, but I'm also interested in potentially trying to walk on to women's rowing, but I've never rowed before, so I'd love to learn about that.
Okay, I can tell you a lot about that. Okay, Carter.
I'm Carter. I'm also a rower, so I'm not really contributing much diverse perspective here, but I'm also interested in electrical engineering and computer science as far as academics go. So.
Cool. I'll do Noah's introduction. So what I know of Noah is that when I told him that he looks blue right now because his camera is off, he's like, oh, that's funny because usually I look white. So that's all I know about him. All right. So do you guys have any questions to start with, or we can just start talking about what club sports is, and then go into the particular sports that you're interested in?
That sounds good for me. I don't know.
Okay. Eamon, you want to take it away?
Where should I start, Judy?
You should start with what sports clubs are.
So, sport clubs is all of the non-varsity sports.
It's amazing.
We have 36 different sports, like ranging from water polo to rowing to hey Oscar.
Hey Oscar. Yo, whoa, repping the Duke D. Way to go.
Thought I would dress for the conversation.
Yeah. Are you at your office right now?
Yeah. I just got a conference room. These guys want to get out, so I had to kick them out. They didn't book the room.
You just upgraded our coffee chat to the next level. All right, sorry, Eamon. Let's do intros for Oscar, and then you can continue talking about sport clubs. Oscar, 30 seconds of fame. Go.
Introduce myself. Okay, hey everyone. My name is Oscar. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. So I'm an international student. International as in from Canada. I'm a rising sophomore majoring in computer science and pursuing also a certificate in innovation entrepreneurship. I think that's kind of how Judy and I met. We kind of just went to the same events for INE. And I guess the reason why I'm here is because I'm on the Duke club rugby team, men's rugby. It's a sport that I've been playing since high school, so I thought I would, keep with it in college, and I think it was a really good idea. So I think my purpose here is to encourage you guys to try club sports when when you get to Duke.
More clubs.
Yeah. Also, Noah's up too. Noah, want to do your intro? Oh, Noah's mic. Noah, your mic isn't working now. Oh, that's so awk.
I've never noticed how crappy my webcam is until now.
It's okay. Your good looks
It's
make it
so
work.
bad.
If your webcam is any more high def, we'd be like, oh,
That is pretty funny.
too much screen. Anyway, so Noah, we can't hear your mic, so I guess you can type on the sidebar, and I'll just read out whatever you say. But in the meantime, Eamon, do you want to continue doing your spiel about club sports?
Well, with the 36 different clubs, you basically start as a freshman. You can walk on, and when you join the team, basically it's like joining its own little frat, depending on the team. Each team has its own like culture and everything. So you got teams that are larger and they like rowing, rugby. Then you have teams that are slightly smaller like badminton. So it's really what you want to get out of it. You can choose what you want, which is the coolest thing. And the biggest thing is the students run it. It's literally just the kids. Like rowing hires its own coaches. It sets its own practice schedule, but this is all from right now a rising senior who was the president last year, and he runs the show. Like we help, but if we want a different coach, we get rid of the one we have and we can move on. Like we're very autonomous. Sports clubs administration is really really helpful with getting the money and letting us use it on our own. Like they will let you go to $0 in your account if you want to, but they don't suggest it. But they'll give you that full ability to run your own club, and I think that's one of the coolest things about sport clubs is you run your own club and you get what you put out of it.
Awesome. Oscar, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I would definitely echo everything you just said. It's really great how the students run it, and I know like a funny thing that happened is my second week at rugby practice, they actually like the executives of the club didn't like the assistant coach, so they just fired him. So that was something I thought was pretty unusual, but really the students have all the power. And one thing I would add on to it, to what you said is I think a really good thing about club sports is you really get to travel. I don't know about each individual sport, but I know for rugby, like every year there's a dream trip, or at least every once every 2 years. But for the past 2 years, it's been every year. We went to the Bahamas around the time of spring break, like a little bit before spring break. So that was really fun, and also just getting to travel like to different parts of North Carolina, up to Virginia, and I know. For rugby, if you make it to the national championships, you actually go to Colorado. So all of that is mostly paid for. You might have to like subsidize it a little bit, but a lot of that is paid for by like the club sports fees and also like the budget that you get as a club sport.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Eamon, you want to talk about our dream trip for the men's rowing team? Not to one-up you, Oscar, or anything.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's hear it.
I know where my royalties lie.
So I can talk about all dream trips because I actually made a little booklet that had like there were 12 teams this year that took a dream trip, and a dream trip is basically traveling for just training or traveling to a different country and playing like international teams. So we had, I think it was 2 teams go to California. We had cycling, I think, or running went to Rome, and they did a half marathon and like around Rome, which is cool. So dream trips are pretty much anywhere the club wants to go. They apply, you get the money, and then they can head out and it's very autonomous, which is awesome. The men's rowing team uses our dream trip as an opportunity to train. So we go to Florida each year, where we choose, like the last 2 years since I've been here, we went to Florida. Sometimes we'll go to South Carolina. Sometimes we might go to Oklahoma City. So it really ranges, but we're looking to get like an extra 30 hours on the water for us, which is huge. That's almost like a full month of training right there. So
Yeah.
sport clubs really help subsidize all of that. There's a really cool fund that's been set up called the Gorder Fund, and he comes once a year, Mr. Gorder, who is an absolutely insane banker. Like, he knows the ins and outs of all the like every small thing that you could possibly think of in a bank. He knows the ins and outs of it. So he sits down, and the students give a presentation talking about why they went, where they went, how they were, what happened, what went wrong. That's a really big part, is like how you moved on from issues. And he really just enjoys like seeing the students and their reactions after it. So that is probably one of the coolest things, is the fact that our donators and benefactors come in and learn from the students and see how they use their money, which is one of the coolest things, I think. So Dream Trips, probably one of the best parts of sport clubs. Not many other, like I've talked to a couple different kids at different teams in other different universities. They hardly get to go anywhere. That's probably the coolest thing we have to offer right now.
Yeah, and just to echo what Oscar and Eamon has said, the women's rowing team also does. We don't call it a dream team because women's rowing is actually NCAA Division I team. So if you walk on, Sabrina, you actually become a varsity athlete. Something really cool, because not a lot of college students get that opportunity. And women's rowing is like a very unique thing that you get to participate in as a freshman or even a sophomore at Duke. So their spring break trip is a little bit different because it is a lot more competitive. Like we do have to compete in ACCs if we can qualify. We do compete in NCAAs if we qualify. So spring break, at least the year that I was on spring break, it was dependent on your time, and so like you had to row a certain split time in order to be qualified to go on the spring break trip. So definitely a little bit.
That's different now.
Yeah, different because
So
for
the women's
sport
team got a
club.
new coach in last year.
Oh, yes, that's
that
true.
has been a huge change. So the women's team is now, they were ranked like 16th or 12th in the country. And so while rowing is a very popular sport to walk on, it does require a pretty good amount of effort at front, but the gains that you will return afterwards are pretty substantial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So obviously, Sabrina, my information is outdated because I've only been trained by the old coach before the entire training staff changed. So I can hook you up with one of my friends who is currently on the rowing team, and she'll be able to tell you more about exactly what to expect if you decide to walk on next year.
Okay, yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. Hey,
So,
quick.
Judy, where did you guys go? You never said.
I don't remember because I was never fast enough to qualify, and that's why I became a coxswain.
What happened to our dream trip that beats yours?
Well, our dream trip, as in the men's rowing dream trip,
Oh, I see.
because now I consider myself an ex-coxswain for the men's rowing team.
All right.
Although, I mean, I
don't
didn't.
know. I would take Bahamas over anywhere else
Same.
to play rugby, quote unquote.
All right, Oscar. Okay. Oh, Noah, your mic works.
Oh, it does? Yay!
Yay! Okay,
think
so
so.
you want to do your introduction because you never got the chance.
Sure. Okay, so I'm Noah, and my webcam used to hate me. I'm from Vero Beach, Florida, but I lived on a sailboat in the Bahamas for 5 years, and so I'm interested in sailing, tennis, and just like unique and new sports. Like my friend played volleyball, I think, and he won the whole like tournament. And so that was just interesting. So just I'm here to learn. It's fun. Hang out. Hi.
Cool.
And so that was just interesting.
Wait, who said that? Wait, do you guys have any questions about the dream trip or about like joining a sports club?
I actually had a question about balancing kind of like being in a sports club with academics. Like, have you ever had some kind of conflict where you had to pick one over the other? Was it something where you could always balance it? Like, just what has been your experience being in a club and being involved academically at the same time?
Sure. Oscar, do you want to go first on that one? Because I think men's rowing is a little bit different in terms of lifestyle.
Right. Yeah, sure. Men's rugby, we don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. So we're good there. You can wake up a little later. But yeah, I would say, throughout different points in the season, you would have different levels of difficulty balancing schoolwork with your sport. But I think rugby, we have 2 practices a week that are 2 hours each, usually at night, like 6 to 8 p.m. And then we have team lifts where everyone go to Wilson and work out like once or twice a week, depending on where we are in the season. So I think all of that is pretty manageable. The only thing I would say is like right before, nearing the end of the second semester when we were doing all of our playoffs and we played a lot of games, pretty much every weekend in March and April we would have a game. And that actually required a lot of traveling, like taking a bus like 3 hours out to play a game and then come back. So I think that was the hardest part in terms of just, you're basically sacrificing one day of your weekend to go play a game. But, I think everyone on the rugby team made that commitment beforehand, so they all knew what they were getting into. And I would say that was the only, month or a month and a half where it was a little bit more difficult. But otherwise, it's pretty easy to manage. I mean, I would say I was a lot busier in high school than I am in college, just because I know, for you guys probably all have, a ton of different extracurriculars. But in college, you definitely, focus in more and pick your, top 2 or 3. So I definitely found that I've had a lot more free time in college compared to high school.
Mm-hmm. Eamon?
All right, so rowing is a huge team-based sport, and we have to practice a lot together in order to be able to actually compete against other teams like Varsity. So the biggest thing is we can't practice with 7 people in an 8-person boat. So it requires everyone to make the commitment and be there for their teammates, which I think is cool. Now we practice often, relatively often compared to other sport clubs because our sport is so dependent on being super fit and in time with one another. So the more time you spend with the boatmates, the faster you'll go normally. Now it is still manageable because everyone at sport clubs came to Duke as a student. We all know what it's like to be a real student. So it's run by students. So we're not going to have every Friday you have to skip every one of your classes and go to practice, blah blah blah, travel. But there are 1 or 2 weekends in the spring and the fall where we do travel, and it requires people to be proactive and talk to the professors if they have classes that they have to miss. I have had to take an exam early because I was traveling the next day, and it just it helps people become more proactive, take charge of their own life, and actually get the work in that they want to do. If you don't have to join a sport club, that's probably the biggest thing. You can do what you want. Different sports teams will have different levels of commitment that is needed in order to be successful. I know some people who are on the diving team that go once or twice a month, but they're really good divers, and that's just kind of the cards they're able to deal with and work up. But I personally, I'm rowing in the morning and at night, 6 days a week, 52 weeks out of the year, basically. So this is my sport. I love what I do. I can't get enough of it. I will do it until I die, basically. And I know, but the thing is, I know that there are other people, it's not their number one. Like, we are students. We have electrical engineers, mechanical engineers. We have pre-meds. We have people who are just make videos for their living. And it's just figure you can figure it out. If you want to get it done, you'll find a way to do it. That's what I've found. So sport clubs really helps teach people organization and being proactive. If you want to run your club, you have to be super proactive, super organized, and it's a huge time-based thing. But you put it in what you get out, and I put everything in basically. All my deals in one hand. So that's my spiel on it.
Right, and I know actually on the rugby team, in the first practice, what they do is they pair up freshmen with, upperclassmen. So kind of you kind of have a mentor when you go into the team. I don't know if this is true with all the club sports, but I know for me, I had someone who I could go to and say, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, like, how should I manage my time or something like that. And they'll also tell you, at what point in the season will you be the most busy. So maybe 2 weeks in advance, like you need to catch up on your work. You need to get ahead. But I think you guys should all be like very comfortable with that being like, the top students in high school. So you should be okay with that.
Yeah. The another thing that I would talk about in terms of lifestyle when you join a sport club, obviously what Eamon said about different sport clubs requiring different commitment. I know that when I was on the rowing team, both on the women's and the men's, I had to dramatically change my lifestyle because, especially on the men's team, we did have to wake up at 5 in the morning to practice on the lake, which I thought was completely worth it. And it's actually one of the experiences that I miss most about not being on a team, which is just like being in a boat with 8 other guys, like rowing in sync, and then watching the sunrise come up and just feel the lake like breathe life into you, and understand how insignificant you are in this world right now, but also how big and how powerful you can be. I think that is one of the things that I love about rowing. Obviously.
Judy, when's your poetry collection coming out?
Get an existential philosophy lecture at the same
Yeah,
time.
wow. That just inspired me to do so much work today.
Beautiful.
You'll have to come find me in my RA room, and then we'll have poetry slams together, and we'll drink hot chocolate and eat ice cream. Anyway, but one of the things that I did notice when I joined the team is I had to, like, I couldn't participate in some of the things that were like the norm or like what was hype, and so like oftentimes my friends would stay up late and like hang out with each other or go out to parties and stuff, and I had to make the decision that because I had to wake up at 5 in the morning and I needed to be alert for my team, so I could be my best mental and physical self when I woke up from my team, that I had to go to sleep at 10. And that was the decision that I had to make. But for me, and I'm sure for all of you, when you decide to join a sport club, the commitment that you make to your team members is so much more important than seeming to like fit in or do what you think you should be doing, because what you should be doing is what your gut tells you to do. I'm sure that you guys, like, you've already gotten into Duke, so your gut is fine. It's like excellent. So I'm not worried about you guys making like good judgments, but it is something that you need to be aware of. Yeah.
So one of the things I like about sports clubs is you join a team and you immediately get a group of friends, basically. That's probably one of the coolest things.
Mm-hmm.
Like Oscar saying he had a mentor. Like, yeah, it's a mentor, but also you start to get to know people in different grades instead of just your own. Like, having East Campus is great because you get to see all the kids in your same grade, but being able to be a part of a team that immerses you into the entire Duke culture. Sport clubs is actually the second largest organization on campus, and that's just behind Greek life. But that's including frats and sororities and everything that goes with it. We have a giant budget compared to other clubs. We are basically just 36 smaller parts of a big whole, which is cool. And when you join it, Like everyone starts just, I'm on the rugby team, I'm on the rowing team, I'm on the badminton team. Like start to get a sort of identity that I know a lot of people start to sort of search for. And I know it's like, oh, I don't want to be the rowing kid. I mean, I am the rowing kid, but
Yeah,
like,
you are.
yeah, you can start finding people that you want to hang out with. I have always found that sports people, they're my kind of people. I can't get enough of it. And having having that team to start off with, I know a lot of people play sports in high school, and that they had their team, and now they're going to Duke, and now they're gonna just like a lot of people think they're gonna join frats and everything, but you don't always need to. Is the issue? Is the thing that I've found? Like you can join a team. What our senior last year was on 3 separate teams. Like he just spread out all the way. Like he got to know so many different people. And then you've got just me and just rowing. But that's fine. It's who I want to be. So I really like sports clubs because as soon as you join, you're already part of like, oh, blah, 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 a family. But you get friends basically because you find people without, searching, hey, what's your major? What dorm are you living in? How's your life? Where are you from? Crap like that. You start being friends already. So, and I really like that. It helped me transition. And going from a team that rowed in high school that was pretty large to a team at Duke, like I really got to know my friends because the team was much smaller, but everyone seems to be so much more driven because they're there because they love the sport, not because they're trying to get into college, because we've already done that. They're there because they want to be playing rugby. They want to tackle other guys. I would love that. I'd just be the guy running away as much as I could. But you have the running team, which has one of the largest presences because there's just so many people that they don't want to work out alone. So you join a running team, and then you have friends. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I can say, as a freshman last year, especially first semester, without rugby, I don't think I would have met any upperclassmen. Because freshman, fall semester, typically in your writing 101s, in your freshman classes. So it's really hard if you're not in clubs, if you're not in sports, to meet these upperclassmen. So I would say that's one of the biggest benefits of joining, especially as a freshman.
Yeah. And you get to meet like-minded people. Like, I love Eamon's intensity. I rode with him. I'm not sure about Oscar. I'm sure you're very highly intense too in a different way. But Eamon and I get along super well because we share this love for the water. And that's what you get when you join a sports club that you really enjoy. Is you get a whole bunch of people who just in your downtime want to do the exact same thing, which is do your sport and do it really well. So we're at 9:29 right now. These coffee chats are only supposed to be half an hour long. So do you guys have any lingering questions that you want to ask before we move on with our lives?
I'm okay.
Not really.
He answered what I had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool.
I hope to see you guys on campus in the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Definitely.
Oscar.
Really excited. So this video is live streamed, so you can always find it on YouTube. And if you want your friends to know about sports clubs, you can share this video afterwards. And also, we're running an Instagram right now called holla.walla, so HOLLA.WALLA. And if you follow us on Instagram, you actually see videos of upperclassmen saying hi to you guys and giving you advice on how to deal with your freshman year, what kind of people you're gonna meet, what kind of advice what kind of things that they wish they did as freshmen. So definitely check us out.
They do follow back.
Yeah, we do follow back. Actually, the problem that we have is that when we follow other people, they don't follow us back, and that makes us feel really awkward, and so we'll unfollow them and then follow them again in hopes that they'll follow us back. Yeah, but don't be that kid.
And I don't know, one last thing, I don't know if this has been mentioned, but in the beginning of the semester there will be a club sports fair. I don't know, Judy, did you mention this already?
No, we actually forgot about that part.
Yeah, so it's there's going to be a fair for everything, one for clubs, one for Greek life, and there's one for club sports. So I'm going to be at the booth for that. So if you see me there, come by and say hi.
Is
Definitely
this
check out
during
the
a
web-
week?
Sorry?
Is this during orientation week?
I don't think so. I'm not exactly sure when it was, but definitely in the first like month of school.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's usually in Brody Gym, which is the gym on East Campus.
Yeah.
So that's where you'll see all the club sports there, and then you'll come across sports that you don't even know about or you didn't know you wanted to join. But you'll definitely meet like the upperclassmen from those sports, and they'll give you a really good introduction.
Yeah. So I host these every night. Make sure you tune in if you are interested in learning more about what I'm talking about that day. And of course, I think Oscar and Eamon, when I say this, I'm speaking all three of us. Like, feel free to friend us on Facebook, ask us any more questions about sports clubs, about exercise in general, maybe about Duke. But not too many questions. If you have like very particular questions, ask me, because I will then connect you with some of my friends who can help you. But basically, you know that like at Duke, we're all super excited for you guys to come.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
So much.
You're welcome.